Top 20 video game music themes inspired by the theme of The Office. What does that mean? We're about to find out what everyone's idea of that is. Does it mean boring? Does it mean bright? Does it mean Capitalism 2, track 6? Does it mean Michael Scarn and Jim and Pam? Find out. This one is Capitalism 2, track 6. This is generally what I had in mind when it came to the idea of an Office theme. It's something that kind of sounds like a shopping theme, but not as fun, because you're going to be there for 8 hours as opposed to, 1 hour, and you're doing something for somebody else rather than for yourself. It has this kind of like bright, but nothing too specific. These sort of like blah synths that sound like fluorescent lights, and then sort of a chopping percussion that's more like the rhythm of staplers and people typing away, click-clacking. And I like how it kind of starts off with ba-da, starts off sort of happy, and then it's 3 o'clock, but it's still 2 more hours and a meeting, and then I gotta take subway home. I don't like taking the subway. That's really nice. I think this is, to me, a really perfect match of what I had in mind for it. But that's the fun thing about this theme of it being Office, is what is going to be your description of that, right? All right, that was from, what was that? From Capitalism 3, so it looks like a SimCity ripoff. Next up, Strange Flesh soundtrack. I think this is called Coffee Break. Now this is a little more darker and a little more dancey, but I feel like the synth tones sound really similar to the song before it. And they still give me that sort of like bright light office. There's something very clear, and there's not a lot of fun or like soul with it in the high points of the song. But then sort of the darker beat below it is actually pretty fun. So it's pretty fun for something that's sort of evil, which I think is working in an office to me. Nice pick, Prince. That was Strange Flesh. Next up is from Grim Fandango. This one's probably going to be the most traditional of them all. This track is called Manny's Office. That was nice. Really short one, too. Yeah, this kind of feels like, I don't know, maybe you're stealing someone's sandwich from the office communal fridge. Or you're working in a detective's office with that noir mystery sound, but it's not sinister. It has the innocence of work may suck, but it's never life or death. And ironically, this is an office where all they deal with is life and death. Yeah, don't I look like I'm in Watch Dogs or something? I should be an NPC standing on a corner. What do you mean, man? Get out of my face! Put down the gun! I'll do anything! I've ran out of coding. No, not that much. What a great tune. Next up, freaks, Guardian of Light 1, Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo's Dungeon. This is one where, based on the name, you'd think, how is this going to sound like what an office is? I'm going to guess this is a Claudio pick, but let's give it a listen. The percussion to me sounds very office-like. Yeah, this percussion is, like my mom is saying, very, very office-like. Like a lot of people working together, typing, clicking, lights flicking on and off, printers going off in the distance, doors opening and closing, chairs creaking. When I think of the percussion in this, to me, this is total, absolute office sounding. It's the click. Yeah, it's like a clock is ticking all the while, and just all the tiny movements. It's not the percussion sounds of a construction site. There's no hammers clanging or things being sawed. There's no force being applied. Everything is very light and dainty, like a stapler or a keyboard click. This is really good. This is perfect. When I thought office theme, this is exactly what I had in mind. Fantastic job, Cloudy. Oh. Next up, UMN Mode Xenosaga Episode 1 by Yasunori Mitsuda! Yeah, there's something about this one that makes it feel like you are not actually responsible for anything in the office. You're not actually working. It's more like you're getting a tour of a really nice office. You're standing on a conveyor belt that's bringing you past a window so you can see the office and you can see the city around you, and there's flying cars. Or maybe you're sort of, the CEO looking out over the city. You definitely have a view in this office. It's definitely high-tech, and nobody's in trouble, and there's no deadlines. There's no stress to this one. Feet are up. The bright side of it, for sure. That's a really nice track. Great one. I like these harder to define themes that The Office would fall under. It makes it really fun to see what people would pick. Like an office tour, yeah. Next up from Stanley Parable, Exploring Stanley. A game set in a surreal office. A surreal game set in an office. Everything is surreal. Stanley was listening to music, as he often did, and wondering, where was the music coming from? Why was he in an office at all? And what would happen if he just stopped working? It's a nice one. It kind of feels like a spiritual successor to the Grim Fandango in the same sort of mysterious tone. And then, yeah, like a mysterious tone in an adventure visual visual adventure type game, but then taken to the next level. This is a really nice one. I wonder what would happen if I just stapled my boss's tie to his table and poured hot coffee down his pants. Yeah, I wonder. Here comes Stella.
Gonna get the fish.
She's coming to get some fish. Our new pets. Her new pets.
Let's
Want to show them to the camera still? You guys want to see some fish?
Girls alive.
Oops, it's not in focus.
Which one's you and which one's me?
Ooh, look at this blue and red. Pretty nice.
Yeah, buddies.
They're going into their new beds. Fish don't sleep in beds. Water beds. Water beds are for humans. They're beta fish. Well, that was a nice track. Next up, from Ape Escape. Is this a Chris pick? Track 30, Futurama TV Tower. Yeah, it definitely has a nice fast pace to it. It would be a really sad party. So there's like no sensuality or sexuality to this song. It's just pushing, driving, pushing. It's sort of like a work song trying to have fun, or a fun song being more like work, which I think is very, very much like life in an office. Sure, you're going to have office parties, but they're office parties. Excellent choice. Next up, Trauma Center, Under the Knife 2, music, Gentle Breeze. Stop. I'm the doctor here. I'll perform the surgery. Yeah, very fun. It does have sort of a shopping theme where it's sort of bouncy and stoppy. And those sort of like bell sounding and tinging sounding. Sounds really bright, sounds really fun. Like I said, a lot of the Office themes, they have the same DNA as a shopping theme. There's just a different feel behind them. You may die, but you'll die in style. That was a nice track. Next up, Minotaur Hotel. This is a Siegfried one. He's really into this game. Ariadne's Thread. Yeah, this is a different track. I know Siegfried was saying he didn't quite know what to put for Office themes and went for music he would listen to in an office. I guess that this is kind of like the part of your mind that wanders maybe while you're doing a bunch of tasks, you know, and you're just working on something, and then there's that part in your mind, your imagination wants to go somewhere else, you know? It's like, what if I just got in my car and drove away from the office and just kept driving and blacked out for 20 hours and came to in a new place. Somewhere else I might be able to work in an office. So, you'd run out of gas. Oh, here we go. Are you ready for some dystopian office action? The Papers, Please theme song. This is one where, the more synthy you make those horns sound, the better. You want it to sound like it's this odd, funky 1980s Cold War era Soviet MIDI technology. This is great. It's got that everything about it is oppressive, but it sounds like work is being done. It's got that up and down. It's that stilted rhythm and kind of clicking and heavy percussion. And I think at one point you even hear almost like steam being blown instead of cymbals. It's fantastic. The deadline is approaching. Finish or die. Next one from Storm Singer. I'm your mentor. I'm your mentor. This looks like a Prince game. This was a really good choice, Siegfried. It has the feel of an office, for sure, but like everyone is saying, it's a very, very happy office theme, which to me is perfect for a dog. Dogs just love working. Throw the stick. I'll get the stick. I'll dig a hole. I like digging holes. Give me something to do. Excellent choice, Siegfried. Next up is Trial, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Yeah, this is a good one. It feels like you're gathering information, like you're going through many things. It's real, very mental, very cerebral. positive, like you're on the way to something, maybe late at night. A great track. Fantastic. Next up, Enter the Gungeon. Enter Office Annihilation. This one has Office in the title. This one to me sounds more like a factory. You know, I can see a large space, lots of things, a lot of moving parts, but more intensity and more impact as opposed to an office. Maybe like a war office or something, or like the office of Monsanto. How can we poison the world? Hostile takeover. Interesting track. Next up, Storm Singer, Last Regret, Santa Lucia. Yeah, this one has definitely has more of a, like one that's just saying, like, you can see more, like there's more going on, more long-term, more thoughtful, more cerebral. I don't know, this is like going to a bar and you're still dressed up in your clothes from work and the hustle and bustle. But it still has the sort of bright synthy sound that would work in an office. It's the rhythm of it, the more like industrial banging away that takes it away from what I would think of an office theme. But it's still in the ballpark, but it's a little darker and a little more nighttime, more city, more of a view, more larger scale. Interesting. Next up, Echo, Vanishing Paradise. This is the title theme to that. Yeah, this has a lot more of it's like very very organic and very sad and very open, and the rain sounds and the bird sounds. So I guess morning makes sense. Walking to work on a Monday after a very introspective Sunday. Maybe Sunday night you came up with some ideas that could get you out of this office job, and Monday morning you're back to the grind. Maybe it was all a dream. What happened on Sunday? It was all a dream. Oh, this isn't the one that I chose, is it? This looks good. Human Resource Machine. I think this one is actually one of the ones I really like the beginning of. So get ready. Was that a good track? It's got a nice spirit, but it's very grounded. Like, what a beautiful mix of gypsy jazz and sort of almost like 80s, 90s programming synth. There's like a nice airiness around it. It definitely feels like a nice mix of sort of computer work with like a jovial, but like One Lich said, a bit deceptive spirit to it. This is a really nice song. This is probably one of my favorite ones of the week and my favorite surprise of the week. Next up, Dungeon, SEBEC, above ground. Magami ipun oroku persona. It's nice to hear something from the first persona, to hear how they got it basically right with the sort of vibe and the theme that they were going for. This song starts out quite dark in the beginning compared to everything else we've heard, but I think once it gets going, it sounds like sort of that very productive hour, sort of the last hour before lunch. Everybody goes to lunch. Everybody's really excited to go to lunch. They're getting their work done. They want to hit those deadlines before they go off. And then when they come back after lunch, they're going to be full of food, digesting. Maybe they had a beer or two. And they're not getting much work done before they go home. But this is very... Oh, and the dungeon itself is an office building? Yeah, it has like a very bright, chirpy, productive, relentless sound to it. That doesn't sound dangerous. It's a really good track. Persona 5, Gentle Madman. So from the first Persona game to the most recent Persona game. It's a nice one. Yeah, very bright, very ominous. Like I said, it sounds like you're at the ground floor of a big, giant corporate office building. A little richer, a little more luxurious, more elegant, but still a place of business and not a place of danger. I think that's the main thing of the office themes is there's a lack of danger, but it's productive. Because that's the whole thing with the office world is that when we started off as humans, it was us against nature, trying to survive against the cold or the heat or animals or us having to kill animals to survive. And when you're in an office, you're working and it can be like cutthroat, but no one's actually dying unless you're in China. Next one. For some reason, this is from Pathologic 2, Useless Science. That's office-y, those opening notes. Takes place in an office. Next up, Silent Hill 2, Heaven's Night. I like this one a little better than, well, actually a lot better than the last. As a song, and also for the theme of it being, like One Lich said, an empty sound, a lifeless husk. It's moving forward but without the soul. Like things in an office are created and moved and manufactured, but not necessarily having any life with them other than just the money that propels it forward because you're told to show up on that day and on that time and make it happen. Next up, Mining Minds from Cyberpunk. Time to pick our next week's theme. Now, this is what it would feel like to work at CD Projekt Red in the months leading up to release, and especially after the release. They must have a bunch of PS4s out there. Yeah, we could do some, we could do top PS4. Alright, if you're watching the YouTube VOD, thanks for watching. Join our Discord if you'd like to contribute to the top 20 list that we do every week, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Bye.